Hey, Claire, I gotta be real with you. I'm starting to get pretty annoyed with you and your husband.
Huh? What's the matter, Samantha? Did we do something wrong?
Come on, don't act like you're completely clueless. You're well aware of what I'm talking about. Listen, why don't you and your husband get out there and work? It's hard to believe you've embraced such a lazy lifestyle. Tell me, is this the kind of influence you've had on my son? Honestly, right from the first day I met you, I had a feeling you'd bring nothing but negativity into my son's life.
Wait, hold on a second. What in the world are you going on about? Samuel and I are both putting in a lot of effort to make a living. Where do you think we got the money to cover all the household expenses?
But are you actually working? I've told Samuel the same thing, and I hope you're paying attention too. If you were really out there hustling, you wouldn't be lounging around the house all day, not even stepping outside once. Seriously, when are you going to start taking work seriously? Don't you think about your future at all?
You know, I've mentioned this before, but Samuel and I are actually working from home. I understand if the concept seems new to you, but it's quite popular these days. With just a computer and an internet connection, many people work from home and earn a decent income without any issues.
You know what? This whole working from home thing sounds like a bunch of nonsense to me. Are you trying to tell me you're just milking the welfare system and pretending to work from home? Come on. It's hard to believe someone would actually admit they're just a bunch of lazy bums.
But Samuel and I are far from being lazy bums. We put in a lot of effort to earn our own money, and we take pride in what we do. In fact, we're making a really decent income through our remote jobs, so we have no plans of quitting anytime soon.
Oh, I'm so worried. I wonder if I made a mistake coming to this house. Maybe I should have gone to Jonathan's place instead. Ugh, I feel like such an idiot for putting my trust in you.
Do you really feel that way? I mean, do my husband and I treat you so poorly? If that's the case, I'm truly sorry. I always make an effort to make you feel comfortable around here.
Comfortable? Ha! That's a good one. You think I can't find any sort of comfort in this tiny, cramped space you call a house? I can barely even breathe properly here. It's a struggle. But let me tell you, Jonathan's place is a whole different story. It's massive, like a castle from another country. I'm pretty sure my quality of life would skyrocket if I were living there.
I see. I'm sorry if our house is not good enough for you.
Well, you know what? I've been considering the idea of eventually moving to Jonathan's place. It'll be my new home. I'm really excited about the prospect of Jonathan coming here and whisking me away to his huge house. In the meantime, I think I'll start organizing my belongings, to get myself ready when the time comes.
It seems like you're really determined to leave me this house. Huh. Have you managed to get in touch with Jonathan? I mean, you can't just sit around here and wait for him indefinitely.
Hey, don't try to play the mother role and boss me around. I know what I'm doing. I don't need someone like you who's just mooching off others, telling me how to live my life.
Hey, take it easy. I was just asking a simple question. There's no need to get all defensive. I'm just simply concerned about you, that's all.
Well, I did try reaching out to Jonathan, but he hasn't responded yet. I get it. Rich folks like him have a lot going on, unlike some freeloaders I know. I'm pretty sure he'll get back to me once he sees my text.
Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. Well, good luck to you then. And by the way, you're always welcome to stay at our place in the meantime.
Hey Claire, you there? I've got some super exciting news to share. I'm so happy that I feel like throwing a celebration right here, right now.
That's awesome to hear. You often seem a bit down recently. So it's really nice to see you happy like this.
Oh, honey, it's not my fault I'm feeling down, you know. Anyways, I've got some mighty big news to share, and I'm just certain it's gonna knock your socks off when you hear it.
Well, let's hear it.
Jonathan, he's coming over to our house today. Can you believe it?
Really? That's amazing. I know you've been eagerly anticipating his arrival for ages, haven't you? This must feel like an absolute dream come true for you, I suppose.
That's right. I'm just overflowing with happiness. I can't even put it into words. Finally, the big guy upstairs listened to my prayers, and now my darling boy is swooping in to rescue me from this dingy old place. Those endless days of misery are finally behind me. Don't you think it calls for a celebration? Let's go out and paint the town red for this momentous occasion.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, it wouldn't hurt to go out and celebrate every now and then, right?
It's your treat this time, no arguments. We're gonna celebrate this incredible event by going out to eat. But don't worry, we can decide on the restaurant later. Right now, there's something super important I need your help with, okay? So Jonathan is coming over today, and I want everything to be in order before he arrives. That's when you come in, darling. I'd be so grateful if you could lend me a hand and help me get ready to move. You know, things like folding my clothes and packing them neatly into my suitcase. It's going to be a bit of work, but we'll have a good time doing it together, won't we?
Hey, I hope you don't mind me asking. And I don't mean to pry, but did Jonathan actually mention on the phone that he's coming to pick you up and take you to his place?
Well, he didn't specifically mention it, but it's pretty obvious that he's coming to pick me up. I mean, what else could be his motive, right? I'm sure he wants to come over after reading my messages asking for help. Honestly, I'm just fed up with this house. I bet you thought I'd turn into a full-time housekeeper, but that's definitely not happening.
Housekeeper? I'm a bit confused. We've never pressured you into doing any housework. And to be fair, it's only reasonable if you can lend a hand with household chores, considering you're not contributing financially. Look, if I were in your shoes, I'd really take some time to think this through before making any decisions.
Well, why wouldn't I? Living with Jonathan has always been my dream, so there's really no need for me to second guess it.
Hey, there's something I really think you should know. We've been keeping this under wraps because we didn't want to upset you, but I believe it's time you hear the truth.
The truth? What truth are you talking about? The truth about you faking your job? Honey, I've known that for a while now.
Not that! Do you remember when we discussed it before you moved into our house? You actually suggested the idea of moving in and living with Jonathan and his wife, right? But in the end, you ended up living with me and Samuel. Doesn't that strike you as odd? I mean, if Jonathan really wanted you to live with him, he would have accepted your proposal back then and let you move in. It's just strange that he's decided to do it now.
Oh, come on now. Wasn't it actually your idea? Jonathan told me all about how you and Samuel were the ones pushing hard for me to move in with you guys. He believed you both would take good care of me. But things turned out quite differently, didn't they? You and your hubby were just trying to use me and make me your own little servant. But guess what? Jonathan saw right through your act and decided to come to my rescue, saving me from you two.
Oh my goodness! It's like you're completely blind to what's really happening here. Can't you see that Jonathan has absolutely no desire to live with you? He's actually been trying to find a way to distance himself from you. That's why he conveniently dumps the responsibility of taking care of you on me and my husband. It's like he wants nothing to do with you. And we're the ones left to handle the situation.
Oh, come on now. You're just spewing lies left and right. There's absolutely no way Jonathan would ever abandon me like that. He's definitely coming for me. Mark my words. Just you wait and see.
Well, if that's what you insist on believing, then there's no point in trying to force you to stay. I'll help you pack your bags like you asked and wait for Jonathan to arrive.
Yo, just a heads up. Me and the wifey are swinging by your house today, as I already told Mom. Thought I'd be polite and give you the heads up, you know? See you soon.
Oh yeah, Mom already filled me in on that.
Look, I want to ask you something. You and Samuel haven't been mistreating Mom, have you?
Huh? Mistreating her? What on earth are you talking about? We would never even think of doing such a thing.
No need to put up a front. We're family. You can be straight up with me about anything.
But we never mistreated Mom or did anything like that. Ever since she came to stay with us, she pretty much did whatever she pleased. Didn't lift a finger for any chores, and depended on the money we provided.
That's not at all what Mom told me. She actually said you're terrible at handling the housework, so she had to step in and take care of things. And she mentioned how Samuel completely ignores her too. I mean, she was in tears when she told me all of this. I trust Mom, you know? She wouldn't just make up stuff like that. So I have a feeling you and Samuel didn't treat her right during her stay with you.
Look, I've already told you multiple times that we've been treating her really well. And seriously, who are you to be all judgy about it? Let's not forget that you were the one who made it crystal clear that you didn't want Samantha living with you. You straight up said it to our faces. So let's cut the double standards, shall we?
Well, things have changed. I've had a change of heart, and now I really want to live with my mom. It hit me hard that I've neglected her for way too long, and I feel the need to make up for my own mistakes.
Fine. Do what you want to do.
Hey, Claire, can you please fill me in on what the heck is happening? I'm totally lost here. I don't get it at all. You need to drop everything and come back home right this instant.
Wait, what? I'm at the grocery store right now. Is there something going on at our house? Is everything okay?
Oh my goodness. A bunch of people from the delivery company just showed up at our house and dumped a mountain of boxes. Then they made me sign some papers and then took off. Now our place is overflowing with boxes, and I can't even get to my own stuff. I have to come back home and help me sort out this mess.
Wait, what? Whose boxes are they? I'm pretty sure I didn't order anything. And Samuel hasn't mentioned any online shopping either. Did you happen to see the name on those papers you signed? This is so strange.
Oh, I was so taken aback and confused by the whole situation that I just mindlessly signed the papers without even paying attention. I wasn't expecting such a delivery, you know.
Perhaps you can take a closer look at the boxes and see if there are any names or information about the owner on them. That way, we can figure out who they belong to and what this is all about.
All right, let me quickly take a look. It says Jonathan.
Huh?
Wait, are all these boxes actually belonging to Jonathan? It looks like they're filled with his and his wife's stuff. Why on earth would he send them to our place? This is so bizarre.
Hold on. I think I might know what's going on. Oh my goodness. I can't believe he actually had the audacity to pull off such a stunt.
What are you talking about? You're saying you know what's happening? Did Jonathan say something to you?
Well, yeah. He pretty much spilled the beans to me. He said that he and his wife sold their house, and now they're left with nowhere to go. He had the nerve to ask if they could live in our house. But I refused. I just never thought he'd have the audacity to just send his stuff to our place without any permission or agreement.
Wait, hold on a sec. What did you just say? Jonathan? He actually sold his house and wanted to move in with you? Are you serious right now? I can't even wrap my head around this. Is this for real?
Yeah. Why would I lie about something like this? If you want, I can even forward you his messages so you can see it for yourself.
But I thought Jonathan was going to come back and take me to his house to live together. What happened? How did things take such a turn? If anything, he should have at least told me about all this. After all, I am his mother.
Well, it turns out they were in a lot of debt and had no choice but to sell their house to settle it all. Now, Jonathan and his wife are pretty much broke. It's quite a shame, isn't it? So much for your dream of living in Jonathan's fancy mansion, huh? Guess life has its own plans sometimes.
But what kind of debt? What on earth did he do to end up in such a massive debt that he has to sell his gigantic house just to cover it? I can't believe it. How could he do this to me? This is all so overwhelming.
I did warn you about Jonathan, didn't I? He's not the person you think he is. And he's certainly not the type who would open his doors for you to live with him. Jonathan, he tried to start a business, but it didn't work out. So here he is now, trying to convince me to let him and his wife live in our house.
No way. I'm telling you, there's absolutely no chance we can let him and his wife live in our house. Our place is already cramped and overloaded with the three of us. It simply can't handle accommodating 2 more people. It's just not feasible.
It sounds like you're really bothered by the idea of having Jonathan and his wife live with us, huh? Well, you know what? On second thought, I think it's important for family members to support each other in times of need. So, I've decided that I'll let my brother-in-law and his wife stay at our place for a while. They assured me that it'll only be temporary until they find a new place. So I'll give them a month to sort things out.
Are you absolutely certain about this? I really think you should take some time to think it through. It's not a decision that should be made on a whim, you know. I'm just concerned for you and your husband because I know you wouldn't be comfortable living in an overcrowded house. I'm just looking out for your well-being, that's all.
Are you looking out for me and my husband, or looking out for yourself? Either way, I've already discussed it with my husband. And he's agreed for Jonathan and his wife to stay with us. So I think it's time for you to start getting used to the idea.
Hold on a second. I see what's going on here. You're just trying to get back at me, aren't you? You know what? I've just come up with a brilliant idea of my own.
What? What idea?
Wouldn't it be more secure for me in the future if Jonathan stays here? You freeloaders can just leave, can't you?
What on earth are you talking about?
What I'm trying to say is, wouldn't it be better if it's just Jonathan, his wife, and me living in this house?
You must be completely delusional if you think I would ever entertain your outrageous proposal.
Well, fine, if you insist. I can tolerate Samuel staying, but I certainly don't need a disrespectful daughter-in-law like you. Maybe it's time I convince my son to consider a divorce. Then we can make room in this house for Jonathan's packages. It's such a brilliant idea, don't you think? I'm sure both Samuel and Jonathan will be absolutely thrilled when they hear about it. Hey, it's great to hear that you freeloaders have finally made the decision to get yourselves out of this house. What a relief! I honestly thought it would take you even longer to realize just how useless and unwanted you truly are before deciding to disappear from my sight. Now I can finally enjoy living with my precious son, Jonathan.
Seriously? Even after finding out that Jonathan casted you aside when you needed him the most, you're still taking his side? What's wrong with you?
Oh, come on. So what if he lost some money trying to start a business? It just shows how determined he is to make it big and become wealthy. I'm telling you, my Jonathan is destined to become a CEO one day. I wouldn't even mind using my pension to support him in starting his own company and achieving such incredible success that it'll make you green with envy. And what about you? All you do is lounge around the house, claiming to be doing remote work. You're nothing but a major nuisance.
You and your son Jonathan sure had some nerve trying to kick me and Samuel out of our own house.
We didn't just try, but we actually succeeded, didn't we? I mean, you already agreed to leave the house, right? I did my best to convince my foolish son to get rid of the biggest burden in this house, which happens to be you. But he's just so stubborn and refused to listen to anything I said. It's all your fault. Somehow you've managed to brainwash my son and turn him into your little minion or something.
All right, Mom, that's enough. You're still as clueless as ever, huh? Well, fine. Since I've already moved out, I'll let you in on a little secret. That house my wife and I were staying in all this time, it actually belonged to Claire.
Huh? Samuel, is that you? What on earth are you on about?
I'll say this again. That house actually belonged to my wife. Her name is on the title deed. She made the decision to buy it so that we could have a place to live together.
Impossible.
Why not? There's no rule stating that only the husband can buy a house. In fact, Claire has been the one taking care of all your allowance and living expenses up until now. She willingly took on that responsibility because she knows your pension is minimal and she wants you to have financial freedom. She's been looking out for you, Mom.
Unbelievable. Claire just sits on the computer all day. She doesn't even do housework properly. Wasn't my allowance coming out of my pension? Otherwise, there's no way Claire could afford to give me $500 a month. Moreover, Claire's the one managing my pension, isn't she? She might have told you otherwise, but I'm sure she's dipping into my pension.
Do you honestly believe that she needs to dip into your pension when she's already a successful business owner?
What? She's just deceiving you. You need to divorce that lying witch. Plus, there's no proof that Claire's actually earning any money.
Take a look at this website. You'll see Claire's picture right there, proudly displayed as the CEO of the company. The sales and revenue figures of her company are also right there on the front page for everyone to see. It's clear evidence of her success.
What? No way.
Regarding your pension, ever since you moved in, we haven't touched a single penny of it. If you ever wanted to leave, Claire has been managing it so you can maintain your independence. But instead, Mom, you've been constantly bossing Claire around and interfering with her work. You're the one causing the problem here.
I don't believe any of this.
Now that we've packed our things, moved to a new house, and transferred the ownership of our old house to Jonathan's name, he's now stuck with a mortgage. That's it. I don't want to be involved with you or Jonathan's family any longer. And don't even think about coming crying to us for help.
Oh, Claire, are you there? I'm in desperate need of your help right now. Please, please reply. It's about Jonathan. He took my pension and vanished a week ago. Now it's just me and his wife left alone in the house. I'm begging you, Claire, you have to help me. I don't know who else to turn to anymore.
Whoa! Slow down. Did Jonathan really do that?
Yes, he did.
You said that Jonathan's wife is with you, correct? Well, Ellie's parents are well off, and I'm sure they would be more than willing to help out in this situation.
The thing is, after Jonathan's business failed and he had to sell Ellie's family home, Her parents also decided to cut off ties with both of them. Ellie hasn't been able to get in touch with her parents since then.
Well, perhaps you should consider reporting Jonathan as missing to the police. Other than that, I'm sorry, but I can't help you with anything. If anything, you deserve whatever consequences are coming your way. Ellie and Samantha kept calling my husband's phone repeatedly. Whenever he reluctantly answered, Ellie would cry, expressing her uncertainty about how to report Jonathan as missing. We were surprised she didn't know what steps to take, so we advised her to contact the police. However, despite their efforts, they couldn't locate Jonathan. Just when we thought Jonathan might remain missing, we received news that he had been arrested for robbing a bank in another state. It turned out that he resorted to such acts to pay off his debts. And this wasn't his first time engaging in criminal activities. It seemed likely that he would be facing a significant jail sentence. Ellie is now stuck living with my mother-in-law in their old house because she can't go back to her parents' home. She's unsure about whether she'll pursue a divorce from Jonathan. But right now, that's not her main concern. She's working with a temporary agency and struggling with her first job, but somehow managing to get by each day. My mother-in-law is also in a tough spot. Jonathan took all her pension, and now she's left to repay his debts. She started working part-time to make ends meet. Although my husband and I feel sympathy for them, we made the decision to not provide assistance and cut off contact. They are now experiencing the harsh realities of life that my mother-in-law often warned about. Despite the challenges we faced since my mother-in-law moved in, my husband and I are relieved to have returned to our peaceful routine.